What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod back with another video, and today I'm going to share some of my Poshmark sales from over the past couple of weeks. And on Poshmark, sales have been super slow for me, but as you guys know, we were purchasing some items from you guys' closets from my last video, and that video had about 100 comments, so we combed through maybe 100 closets or more, because we still did end up getting some more comments even after the deadline, and I just wanted to check those closets out as well. So we took a couple days to go over all of the closets, and Dom found more stuff than I did, because a lot of the closets had mainly women's stuff, but I was still able to find some good stuff, especially some shoes. And I know in some of the comments, some people said they're going to be updating their closets while everybody's home right now. So if you guys add anything in a size 10.5 or an 11, definitely drop a comment, let me know, and I'll check your closet out, and I might make another purchase there. From that point on, once we start getting some of the orders in, I'm not necessarily going to do an unboxing video, but I'll just share some of those items that we did pick up, and of course shout out some of those closets as well. So one good thing that really did happen prior to making this sale video is that right after we made some purchases, other people started purchasing from us as well. And like I said, my Poshmark sales have been super slow, so it was just good to see that, you know, once I was putting out that positive energy, it came right back within a matter of minutes. I know those Brooks running shoes sold over the weekend, and a couple other pieces started to sell shortly after we started making some purchases. So without further ado, let's get into it. First is this pair of Altra Footscape running shoes for women, and Altra is a really good brand to be on the lookout for. Sometimes it just depends on the overall condition and of course the model of the shoe. This one in particular didn't sell for a ton of profit. This one sold for 22 bucks. I think I picked it up for maybe $4 or $5. If it's in better condition, you can shoot sometimes up to 60 to 70 bucks on these. I had a brand new pair of these, and I think I sold those for about maybe 100 bucks, brand new without the box. So keep that in mind anytime you guys come across Altra running shoes. I'm not going to say all of them sell for a ton of profit, but as long as they're in decent condition, you can at least get anywhere between 20 and 30 bucks. And of course, that could be good profit depending on how much you purchase it for. Next up is this pair of Brooks Ghost 10 running shoes for men. And Brooks is definitely one of those running shoes that I will always pick up because the resale value for me has always been there. As long as they're in good condition, sometimes you can shoot up a little higher, sometimes maybe 60, sometimes 70 bucks depending on the condition. This one was in pretty good condition, but it did show some normal signs of wear. So for the most part, I listed these for 49 bucks, and it sold for my full asking price, so I was definitely happy about that. Some Brooks running shoes, depending on the model, they don't sell for as much profit, especially the ones for women, but the men's Ghost 10 always does well for me, so I always pick this one up. So definitely keep that in mind anytime you're looking for Brooks running shoes. Next up, we got a pair of New Balance 813s, and these more like some orthopedic style of shoes for probably elderly people. But these shoes probably were worn one time, if that. I believe I picked this up from the thrift for about $4 or $5, sold it for 25. I was originally asking 29, but at the end of the day, I wasn't able to sell these on eBay anymore. And I'll do another video on that one shortly as to why I couldn't sell them on eBay, but I was happy that it sold here on Poshmark. So stay tuned for that video because I'll be dropping that one really soon. Next up is this Harley Davidson t-shirt for men, and this one was in like just a simple Harley Davidson spell out on the front. Nothing too crazy about this one. This one actually said Harley Davidson Museum on the tag, and I picked up a bunch of Harley Davidson t-shirts from a thrift not too long ago. Average price on those was either between $2 and $3 for those t-shirts. This one sold for 15, and it took about maybe 2 weeks, so very quick flip for me, and not a ton of profit, but I always love a really quick flip. Next up, we got a pair of UGG sneakers, and as you guys know, I was picking up a ton of UGGs when I was living in California when I had the UGG outlet near me, and at one of those days I had just picked up some of these sneakers because they was only, I think, 17 or 18 bucks brand new in the box, so I decided to take a chance on them. I knew from jump that they wasn't going to be selling for a ton of profit. So at first I had these listed for 50. I don't think I had any likes or anything like that. No real attention. Then it finally did sell for 33 bucks. I had 4 pairs all together, and they all sold somewhere between $30 and $40. So keep that in mind if you guys come across this particular pair of UGG sneakers. UGG sneakers in general don't sell for that much profit for me. I usually just stick towards the boots, and I think I'll just keep it that way from now on. Next up, we have a base layer from Alpine Stars, and this is definitely more like a base layer for motorcycle riders, especially if they want to have the full leather outfit on. And this one sold here on Posh for 36. This was actually something that I had in my death pile that was sitting for a very long time, and one day I just decided to, you know, list as many of those death pile items as possible, because as of right now, really nothing better to do. And for 36 bucks, this was a really good sale for me, because I don't necessarily remember how much I spent on this. It had to be at least $4 or $5 for this piece, but it was sitting for such a long time that I was just glad that I was able to make some profit. So definitely be on the lookout for Alpine stars. I've sold some of their jackets, some of their boots, even some leather motorcycle pants for $100+ So anytime y'all can find anything with this Alpine stars branding on it, I usually always pick it up. Next up, we got a pair of Vapormax 2019 in this teal colorway for women, and these were really dope in my opinion. I picked up a bunch of these because these were just flooded in different Ross locations, and I was able to sell all of mine, thankfully. This one sold here on Poshmark, and the others all sold on eBay for an average price about $100. Some sold for a little more, some sold for a little less. At first I had these priced for $110, then I had to just lower the price to $99, and I finally got somebody to just buy it straight up without sending any offers. So that's always a good thing anytime that happens. And I picked these up from Ross for $59. So not a ton of profit was made here, but I'm just glad that it actually did sell, because I was contemplating actually returning these shoes. But of course, since all the Ross locations are closed, I couldn't return it. So I was just basically just waiting for the right buyer to come along, and they finally did. Next up, we got another Harley Davidson t-shirt. Only difference is this one came from the same lot of the t-shirts I picked up from that thrift. Only difference is with this one was actually brand new with tags, so that added a little more value to it. Sold this one for $22, considering the fact that buyers always have to pay shipping and tax, and $30 is probably exactly what you would spend on a Harley Davidson t-shirt that's new age. It isn't vintage, it doesn't have a ton of branding and a huge logo on here, so this was just enough profit, and it just what I was expecting to sell this item for here on Poshmark. Up, we got a pair of Nike Shox, and I always tell you guys, anytime I come across Nike Shox, I always pick it up as long as it's in decent condition. Even if it's pretty beat up, I might still take a chance on it, because I know there's people that really do love vintage Nike Shox. And these, I believe these came out maybe in 2009. Let's check the size tag here. Yes, 2009 these actually did come out, so these are pretty old. I got a ton of attention on these on eBay and on Poshmark, and I was just glad that it sold for my full asking price here on Posh. I was getting a bunch of lowball offers on eBay, but that's usually just expected. And anytime an item sells full price for me here on Poshmark, I'm always happy about that. And it sold for $69, and I think I picked these up for $8. So definitely made some good profit on these. Next up is a blazer that sold shortly after Dom and I decided to make some purchases on Poshmark. And one of the things that I always say is that as long as you're putting out positive energy, usually good things do come back. And with this particular item, as soon as I made a purchase on Posh, this item actually ended up selling shortly after, maybe 20 or 30 minutes later. So J.Lindeberg is one of those brands. I used to find this brand fairly often when I was in California. I don't find it as often as I used to. Some pieces sell for a lot more profit than others. This piece in particular was kind of heavy, and I was thinking it would wait. I might have to wait until fall and winter for this piece to sell, but some people are actually still experiencing cold weather, and a lot of other people as well are just purchasing items for next season. So we'll see if those type of sales continue to happen for me. I probably could have made some more money on this in the fall and winter, maybe $60 to $70 on this item, but this was one of those pieces that was in my death pile, so I was just glad to see it go. And I was asking $39, and it sold for $35. Next up is a pair of boots from the brand Beckett Simonon, and these are actually coming out of the personal collection. These were actually gifted to me, but they were a little too snug, so I decided to let these go. I actually had these sitting in the closet for a while, but once I realized that I wasn't going to be wearing these, I decided to let them go. And I listed them on eBay and on Poshmark. I was expecting them to sell a lot faster there on eBay, because I've sold this Beckett Simonon brand several times on there. But there's people that search for these brands on every different platform. So it was just a good surprise to see that these sold here on Posh. And like I said, it was gifted to me, so this was all profit. And last but not least, this is definitely one of my best sales here on Poshmark in a long time. This was a jacket from Schott, and this was a white leather motorcycle jacket for women. And I listed it for $259, expecting to probably eventually have to take an offer on this one, and it sold for my full asking price. It took a very long time for this to sell. It took about maybe 5 to 6 months until it finally did sell. But I picked this one up from a consignment shop out in California. I think I spent $40 for this jacket. So I made a ton of profit on this piece. And if you guys come across anything from Schott, especially anything with the Perfecto from the Perfecto line, always pick it up because it sells for a ton of profit. This one in particular, it had like an embroidered motorcycle on the back. So a very specific buyer was going to be interested in this piece. But at the end of the day, it was really dope, really clean. My wife liked it, but because it was selling for so much profit, we had to sell this piece. Alright, y'all, that's all I got for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Mood just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit.